Ballymena, Northern Ireland, was thrust into the spotlight after two 14-year-old boys appeared in court on serious charges. The use of a Romanian interpreter drew immediate attention, fueling debate and concern across the town. Soon after, a protest formed. Hundreds gathered, holding signs and demanding answers. The demonstration began peacefully, but tensions quickly escalated. As the crowd swelled, police presence increased. The mood shifted from concern to confrontation. Chants grew louder and frustration mounted. Parents, teachers and neighbours watched anxiously, hoping for calm. But as rumours spread, the situation deteriorated. By nightfall, the protest had turned violent. 3 cars were burned, 5 shops looted, and at least 7 houses suffered damage. 12 people were injured, including 4 police officers. Misinformation fueled anger, especially toward the immigrant community. The Romanian interpreter became a flashpoint, and unity gave way to division. Clashes erupted between protesters and police, leading to further destruction of property and chaos in the streets. In the aftermath, Ballymena faced the reality of damaged buildings, lost trust, and a shaken community. Left to wonder what would happen next. What are your thoughts on the Ballymena riots? Have you or your community experienced something similar? Share your perspective and experiences in the comments below. Let's start a conversation. The protest in Ballymena quickly escalated into violence. Over the course of a week, 12 cars were burned, 8 shops looted, and 15 houses damaged or destroyed. Each night, masked groups clashed with police, setting fires and throwing petrol bombs. Clonovan Terrace was hit hardest, with several homes destroyed. Firefighters responded to dozens of calls as 23 people, including 6 police officers, were injured. Property damage was extensive, with windows smashed and streets littered with debris. Sirens echoed through the night as emergency crews struggled to contain the chaos. Ballymena now faces the difficult task of rebuilding and restoring safety to its streets. The violence that began in Ballymena quickly spread to nearby towns. In Larne, Portadown and Coleraine, the unrest escalated rapidly. In Larne alone, 3 cars were burned, 2 shops looted, and a leisure centre used by immigrant families was set on fire, forcing the evacuation of dozens, including children. Across the region, over 15 houses were damaged, and emergency crews responded to more than 20 incidents in a single night. At least 8 people were injured, including 2 security guards, as volunteers and the housing executive struggled to provide shelter and aid. Community halls filled with families seeking safety, while property destruction left many without homes. The close ties between these towns allowed the unrest to move fast, stretching local authorities thin. Restoring order would require coordinated action and resilience from everyone involved. The riots in Ballymena left a deep mark on families and children. Over 20 cars were burned, 15 shops looted, and dozens of houses damaged. Parents struggled to keep their children safe, often hiding in basements as violence raged above. Children faced confusion and fear, with many left shaken by the destruction and the sound of sirens at night. The violence injured at least 12 people, including 3 guards, and left entire neighbourhoods scarred by property destruction. Local councillors and support groups offered help, giving families a place to talk and begin to heal. Community leaders organised meetings and activities to help restore a sense of normalcy. Recovery will take time, but Ballymena's families are determined to rebuild and support each other. During the Ballymena riots, the community faced real danger. Over 30 cars were burned, 12 shops looted, and more than 20 houses damaged. At least 15 people were injured, including 4 security guards. In response, families began placing signs and Union Jack flags in their windows, not for decoration, but as a way to identify themselves as locals and avoid becoming targets. This was a practical move. With so much property destruction and violence, people hoped a sign or flag would keep their homes safe. It became a silent code. "We live here, please don't attack." Not everyone agreed with this approach. Some saw it as necessary for safety, while others worried it divided the community further. A simple flag or sign now carried heavy meaning. about loyalty, belonging and survival. The streets became filled with these symbols. Each window told a story, some about fear, others about the challenge of living together after so much destruction. The violence forced everyone to reconsider what it meant to be part of Ballymena. With so many injured and so much property lost, people questioned if things could ever return to normal. As the situation calmed, community leaders and residents met to rebuild trust. They knew that real recovery would take more than removing signs. It would require honest conversations and cooperation. Moving forward, Ballymena's future depended on breaking down barriers and working together so that everyone could feel safe, no matter what flag was in their window. When the riots erupted, police responded immediately. Over the course of the night, more than 20 cars were burned, 12 shops were looted, and at least 15 houses were damaged. 63 officers were injured while trying to control the violence, and dozens of civilians were also hurt. The destruction of property was widespread, with windows smashed and barricades set alight. The police service of Northern Ireland was stretched to its limits. A request for backup from Police Scotland went unanswered. As the situation slowly calmed, the scale of the damage became clear. The events highlighted the immense challenges police faced during such unrest. Calls for better resources and more training followed. The police response raised questions about tactics and community relations, sparking debate on how policing could be improved in the future. During the Ballymena riots, social media played a major role in spreading information and misinformation. False reports and rumours about the violence circulated rapidly online, fueling panic and confusion. As disinformation spread, the real impact on the ground was severe. Over 20 cars were burned, 15 shops looted, and dozens of houses damaged. One Facebook group with thousands of members became a centre for heated arguments and the rapid spread of unverified claims. In total, 12 people were injured, including 3 guards, as property destruction escalated, often triggered by online rumours. Local leaders and officials worked to correct false information and keep the public informed. The events in Ballymena highlight the need for digital literacy and careful sharing online. Social media can unite communities, but unchecked disinformation can quickly lead to real-world harm. The Ballymena riots triggered immediate political response. In just 2 nights, 12 cars were burned, 7 shops looted, and 15 houses damaged. The violence left 9 people injured, including 3 police officers, and caused widespread destruction of property. Political leaders from all parties called for calm and urged a return to peaceful dialogue. Officials emphasised the importance of respect and inclusion, values that have helped Northern Ireland progress in recent years. First Minister Michelle O'Neill condemned the violence as racist and unacceptable. She stated clearly that such actions have no place in a modern society and promised that those responsible would be held accountable. Other senior officials echoed her message, highlighting the need to support minority communities and ensure justice is served. The riots also reignited debate about immigration. Some politicians claimed Northern Ireland was being overwhelmed by migrants and that public resources were under strain. However, official statistics contradicted these claims. In reality, only 3.5% of Northern Ireland's population is from a minority ethnic background, much lower than the UK average. In Ballymena, there are no registered asylum seekers. The idea of a migrant flood is not supported by the facts. Northern Ireland's economy relies on foreign workers, especially after Brexit. Sectors like agriculture, food processing and healthcare depend on migrant labour to function. Their contribution is essential to keeping local businesses and services running. The aftermath of the riots sparked important discussions about race, integration and the region's dependence on people from diverse backgrounds. Political debates and community conversations highlighted that diversity and inclusion are vital to Northern Ireland's future. Ultimately, the events forced a direct conversation about what it means to live in a diverse community. Residents and newcomers alike began to openly discuss how immigrants shape Northern Ireland's culture, economy and identity, an essential step toward a stronger, more united society. In the aftermath of the Ballymena riots, the community faced harsh realities. Over 20 cars burned, 12 shops looted, dozens of houses damaged, and at least 15 people, including 4 guards, injured. The destruction of property was extensive, leaving scars across the town. Despite this, local leaders like Olympian Danielle Hill spoke out against the violence, making sure young people felt supported and safe. Immigrants such as Cornelia Amare shared their stories, acknowledging the fear but also highlighting the resilience and hope that remained. Local businesses, many dependent on immigrant workers, united to counter negativity and promote a message of unity. Volunteers quickly organized, serving meals and supporting families affected by the violence, determined to rebuild trust. The riots left visible damage, but they also sparked a renewed sense of community spirit and teamwork. Moving forward will be challenging, but Ballymena's determination is already helping to heal wounds and build a stronger, more connected future. If you found this story informative, please like and subscribe to Smarter Brains for more in-depth coverage of breaking news, politics, sociology, economics and social policy.